everybody, this is Nerf Gun Reviewer 331 here today, and for today's video, I'm going to be doing a little memory moment with this very, very old blaster of mine. This is the Buzzbee Blasters Air Warriors Torrent. This was supposed to resemble a striker back in some of the older Call of Duty games, but it technically it holds shells similar to this. This is a 3D printed shell that I found on Thingiverse. I did not create this, but I simply printed it by downloading the files from Thingiverse. All credit goes to respectful owners who currently have the blaster or the current shell designed for this. Now these are Buzzbee shells. These Buzzbee shells work very, very well with blasters like this, or the blasters like the Double Shot, or the Gunsmoke, or etc. Any blaster that takes these types of shells, the old-fashioned Buzzbee shells without the air restrictor crap, a good comparison would be this one right here, the orange one, completely orange. That is a typical Buzzbee shell, as I tried to modify it but didn't work. This is just a regular Buzzbee shell, but it's been 3D printed. Again, all credit goes to respectful owners. I did not make the shells, but I did try to 3D print them to see how they turned out. As far as I know, these shells work really well with this, especially when the shells perform well and they also eject properly. The thing with the Torrent was the Torrent had this capability somewhere in the internals where if you were to pump this a couple of times and once you had an empty shell, it would eject like automatically as soon as you kind of pulled this thing back and pushed it forward. It would eject the old shell and keep the new shell in. That was really cool. And honestly, in case you're wondering about this hole here, if you've noticed, there's a hole here. I just recently modified this. I swapped out the spring for a little bit longer spring for the main component, and I took out their version of an air restrictor for the actual plunger head, or not plunger head, for the mechanism inside. That's the only two modifications I've ever done. Putting this blaster together was a bit of a pain because there were springs, there was pieces everywhere, and I was trying to collect them all. Notably, I got all the pieces in, put it back together, and it works fine. Now, this hole here, to get back to this hole in the blaster, I had to forcefully pry this thing open. Thankfully, nothing else got damaged other than this shell piece that is missing. But, getting back to the blaster itself, the Torrent was, I believe, a 12-shot shell blaster. So, it took 12 of the original Buzzbee blaster shells, and obviously 12 Buzzbee darts. And originally, with the old-style Buzzbee shells, they couldn't take normal Nerf darts like at the time the Nerf N-Strike, or the newer darts like the N-Strike Elite, and so forth. Whistler darts or suction tip darts. But notice how this Buzzbee shell that I have here has a streamline in it. I also think this is like a race squad streamline. I don't know, but this 3D printed Buzzbee shell will fit snugly with race squad darts. So, for the sake of keeping this thing visible, I'm going to take the little door off. This is removable. You can just put it right back on if you feel comfortable. Now, the way this works is you pull this back, moves, looks like it's in position, and I guess I'll do a wall bounce back test. Aiming for the big chunk of wood. It performs much better when it's modified, this blaster at least. See what I mean? this blaster was by far my favorite Buzzbee blaster that it was shell fed, alongside the double shot that was the side-to-side barrel instead of the over-under. It was supposed to resemble like a shotgun of some sort. But most people just sawed off the barrel and made it a sawed-off shotgun, which is pretty cool with me. Now, the thing with this blaster is, I noticed at certain times, before I modified it and before I took a look inside this blaster, I noticed that some parts of it were a bit old, and of course I did lube up, I did kind of lubed up some of the internals in here to keep them running smoothly. But yeah, that's like the only thing that I really had the problem with. There's like no debris whatsoever, there's no dust, nothing like that. But I guess the reason why I like this blaster a lot so much is the shell ejecting part gives it a more realistic feel while maintaining the toy blaster feel. You can hold 12 of these Buzzbee shells, or 3D printed shells if you like. And it's just really cool, and I like it a lot. The only thing I didn't like about the blaster at the time I reviewed it was the reloading process is a bit cumbersome. So say if you had 1, 2, 3, 4 shells here, you'd have to move it physically. You would have to move the actual holder to fit another 4 shells. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're done. That could take a while, and honestly, this would be only good for my personal preference. This would only be good for close quarters Nerf battling, but if you had a lot of time to reload, this would also be a dream. But you know, this blaster has brought me some good memory moments, and I always liked it because of, I don't know why, the shell ejecting thing, the realistic shell ejecting part of the blaster. Just it was really just interesting to me, and that's why I kept it for this long. I've had this for, I want to say, God, ever since I made the review on this channel for the Buzzbee Torrent. If you can find the video and figure out what the date is, I'll probably figure it out myself, but if you can figure out the date, I've probably had this for, if I had to guess, I don't know, 6, 7 years, maybe more. This is one, I honestly want to say this is one of the first blasters I've ever gotten in my entire life. And I still love it. I still wish I could add some CPVC to the, or not CPVC, regular PVC to extend the barrel, give it more of a better look than this orange muzzle here. But yeah, I adore this blaster, and it's one of my favorites, honestly, because of the shell-fed capabilities. I like shells, even though most people say they're cumbersome and they are very hard to work with in Nerf wars, and I understand that because I tried doing that before. The main point with this is Buzzbee shells or 3D printed Buzzbee shells both work really well with this blaster. I would just recommend the 3D printed Buzzbee shells because they're compatible with virtually any dart in this bucket here, except the Mega Darts or the rival rounds. But regardless, I love this blaster a lot. It brings me some memory moments every time I touch it. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching the Blaster of the Month memory moment. I don't know if this will be a reoccurring thing. I don't even know if this will even be like a week-to-week video. But I'll try to make as many videos as I can to keep this channel up and running, and to also keep you guys entertained during this whole COVID crisis. So, without further ado, I'm going to end the video now. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Nerf Gun Reviewer 331 signing off for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, understood the video. If you liked the video, please give a like or a comment, or even subscribe even. I don't mind either one, or any of them, or all of them. And I guess have a good day, night, life, and everything else, and I'll see you guys in the next video.